1970s superhero crime noir adventure follows a retired soldier-turned-reporter who is given a coveted interview with a death row inmate. What he learns thrusts him into Atlanta's shadowy underworld, where he'll have to utilize his military training to survive being hunted for having information that could topple the most powerful ruling class in the city. This full-color graphic novel is available in hardcover, paperback, and pocketbook editions. Crowdfunding now through Dinales.com.
Look at that. We're live for another Joe Keen Adventure Hour. And this is Thursday, June 4th, 2026. Hello to X, Rumble, and BitChute. Hello to YouTube. Hello to Lurkers and Bots. Hello to the chat. Hello to George.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings.
We stream every night because the stories are real, but the news, they be fake.
Yep.
Before we jump in, be sure you get your copy of the Immortal Mask 200-page graphic novel on sale now on my website, Dinales.com. CriticalBlast.com and Amazon.com.
Yep.
Or if you can't even remember that, you can also type in theimmortalmask.com and it goes directly to my webpage.
Yep.
All right. .com's Lives of TikTok. Exclusive. Woman on Nextdoor app has been censored and suspended for sharing right-leaning opinions on the platforms. No, you don't say. Nextdoor's woke policy encouraged people to discuss racial justice and anti-racism and BLM while banning anyone from saying phrases like all lives matter, white lives matter. Missy had multiple posts of hers removed, including one where she said we could use more Jesus in the neighborhood. Nextdoor said the post was insulting and bullying. She was then temporarily suspended for posting for a post supporting local candidates that aligned with her value. The reason? Because Nextdoor deemed the topic on local candidates that she liked as non-local topic. Yet posts supporting Democrat-endorsed candidates are allowed. Nextdoor is targeting conservatives on its platform while allowing leftists to run wild. Well, you know, you can stop using Nextdoor and use something else, I suppose.
Yep.
You have choice, and I believe there's bigger choice. you're going to find more conservatives in certain apps than other ones.
Yep.
But you know, I get it. I get it. Don't run from the battlefield. You know.
Yep.
You'll do what you have to do. George, any thoughts?
Yep.
Is that what's going to be? Yep.
Nope.
Let's see. All right. Brian Cates responding to the State Department. State Department. Cuba is not actually controlled by the government. Cuba is controlled by a military holding company named GISA. GISA owns virtually everything, and not a penny of that translate over to the public treasury. Brian Cates. He literally told you that Cuba has been run for decades now by what? A military holding company. That is not the government. Somebody else is in control there. Yes, he said it out loud. How many of these dictatorship or communist country is actually controlled by the government and not a military, adjust glasses, military holding company?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Blonde Goth Girl. My loco next door has targeted right-wingers for years. We form our own subnet. Okay, so we have something with experience with that.
Yep.
Like the good fight, as Three Dogs says in Fallout. Not endorsed by Three Dogs or Fallout. Huh, isn't that interesting?
Crazy, actually.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be surprising a lot of countries you think is controlled by evil dictators are not really controlled by evil dictators. It's just a puppet. Oh, by the way, the new scare is in place. You know what the new scare is, George?
What?
It's not new diseases. It's a new flesh-eating screwworm detected in the U.S. for the first time since 1966.
They're just throwing everything out there, aren't they?
Yeah. A 3-week-old calf in La Prairie, Texas, just 30 miles from the Mexican border, is the first confirmed case. This parasite burrows through living flesh. Female lays eggs in the open wounds. If untreated, it kills the host. What's this word? If untreated, it kills the host. So that means that the owner has to be neglectful. And those ranchers, they check their cattle daily.
Uh-oh.
Every day they check them.
Uh-oh.
Why? Because they have to do grooming. They have to do feed. They have to make sure there's no lameness in any of their cows.
There's no mad cow disease.
Exactly. So, this is so stupid. The USDA is now establishing a 20-kilometer quarantine zone, preparing to release millions of sterile flies to contain the spread. This has been advancing through the Central America and Mexico for over a year. Everyone saw it coming. Now it's here, and the beef price is about to feel it.
Oh, jeez.
You know what this means, George?
What's it mean?
It means that, oh, by the way, we're having kinetic warfare with the cartels in this area, so we have to use a cover about screwworms that's been treatable. And because of this situation, we're going to have to momentarily raise the prices of beef because we have to give protein to our soldiers while we slaughter the cartels wholesale.
Oh, jeez.
But, these maggots are, bearing, are, gestating, in the ruins of the old political animal. These worms. We're going to kill these worms, George.
To get to those worms, you have to get to them.
Exactly. So it makes sense of Trump's showing Truth Social, posts of locked in. He gave the go ahead to do some fires. Maggie Wise posted, registered voters in LA is 22,900,200 votes. The current tally as of today or this morning was Karen Bass 18,347,906 to Spencer Pratt 12,675,318.
I don't know about you, but my math really sucks.
Exactly. Where's the extra one on this? And this is not even counting the third candidate who got a significant portion.
It's at this point, somebody has to call this out, man.
Somebody has to call it.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's going to continue on to the election. I bet you they're going to say, "Whoops, Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt, they just make it off the either he's going to lose and it's going to be the two Democrats going to the runoff, or basically they catch somebody and you have a whole lawfare because this is popcorn making." So the question is, if you were doing a movie, George, and you're presented with this scenario, hey George, what would be the most interesting story development for this mayor race. Let Spencer win right out. Let him be in a runoff. Let him lose, but then lawsuit happens showing this corruption, and then he doesn't win the lawsuit enough, but just enough that it kicks out the third candidate and gets him into the runoff for a primary, so they can continue milking him and him showing, hey, this is how they cheated all throughout, and getting more outrage as you get to the closer to the November election.
As we learned,
mm-hmm.
you cannot complain about the shenanigans during an election, until the shenanigans has actually happened.
Right.
And then when you complain about the shenanigans that actually happened, the court says, well, you're too late.
Yeah. It has to be
it's already done. It
has to be right before the election and right before the election.
No, it's you can't do it. You can't do it at all.
Exactly.
Before the election, you say, well, there's going to be election shenanigans. It goes, well, you haven't proven any election shenanigans, because the election hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So you can't complain before it happens. Right? But then after it happens, when you complain that it was election shenanigans, the court says, yeah, well, you're too late. The shenanigans already happened. The votes already happened.
Yeah.
There's no law that says that you have to go and revote.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's Kerry Lake discovered that twice.
Oh yeah. And also the guy from Philadelphia.
Yeah, that guy too.
Whoopsie. Blonde Goth Girl. LA voter registration is from 2025, not accounting for their immigration. No, but they have a lot of dead people and a lot of famous people that they have to put on the voter roll. You know? Because remember, a lot of celebrities uses stage name, so that's one vote, and then they use a real name, that's 2 votes.
Okay.
You know? Thundercats used to buy no-name juice boxes for my daughter. This week, they are no longer called apple juice. It's now apple beverage. That's because the term juice have certain requirement. Watch your label, folks. Our food is moving to worse and worse.
Uh-oh.
Can't legally call it apple juice without any apples in it.
Well, that blows.
Naturally flavored, George.
Naturally flavored.
So when you're looking at the grocery shop and you see naturally flavored, it's not naturally flavored.
Oh, naturally, it's flavored.
Naturally, yes, like a true story.
Yeah.
Curious George, another African migrant shows off her food bank haul here in Canada. Like it's totally normal for anyone to come and take from the county's resources, or Providence, in this case, meant for struggling Canadians. Lady, you're supposed to show the government your proof of funds before coming here. Students, family, and newcomers, everybody, they use them. Trust me, it's free. Donations to these places down because immigrants who come and take what doesn't belong to them.
Uh-oh.
First time I went to the food bank, I didn't even know what to expect. You know, when you enter, they give you a bag and then you start picking food like you're in a supermarket, but everything is free. Bread, milk, canned food, even snacks. Sometimes you can even get vegetables and sometimes fruits. Back home, if somebody says food bank, you would think it's a joke. But yeah, it's normal. Student, family, even workers, newcomers, everybody, they use them. And trust.
That makes me kind of upset.
Yep.
A little bit. David Volz, Breaking news. Legislation against Blue Muppet has been proposed. Yes, but Senator Majority Thune has done another recess. Blue Muppet stays. Developing story more 11.
Oops, gotta mute myself.
He got the knock on the door. Mario, Trump just signed the Doge executive order. Rogue deep state feds in policy-making roles can now be fired fast. No more impossible to fire protections. Treat them like private sector workers. Mess up or undermine America? God.
Executive order on reforms to the federal workforce, sir. Currently, with respect to many policy-making positions in the departments and agencies across government, we lack the ability, because of existing personnel rules, to effectively discipline or promote people who are in policy-making roles. This executive order follows on a number of previous executive orders. The end goal is making the federal workforce more accountable and ensuring that people, particularly in policy-making roles, aren't unaccountable to the wishes of the administration.
And the reason for this was what? Whose idea was that?
James Shirk, who's here from Domestic Policy Council, can
Would
speak
you like
to
to
that.
say something? Come on, you did a great job on this.
Thank you, sir. It's been a long-standing problem that it's almost impossible to fire a federal employee, even in cases of serious misconduct. And as a result, if you have employees who are trying to undermine the wishes of the American people by pushing their own agenda or just incompetent at what they're doing, agencies have a long-standing difficult time getting rid of them. And that's a particular problem if you're in a senior policy influencing role where you're controlling the policies of the entire agency. What this does is basically treats those employees like private sector workers. They're going to be hired on the basis of merit and competence, but if they're messing up, then they can be removed quickly rather than taking a year longer to get rid of them.
That's great. And you were very much involved in it?
I was, sir.
So, that's a super interesting. Because you're wondering, it's like, but what are you talking about? You know, what is this? Why does he have to do an executive order? Because during his first term, he wasn't able to fire workers because there was a little protection. Let me see. Why Trump was unable to fire bureaucrats during first term. Let's see, where is it? All right, so let's see, where is it? Let me see. Where is it? There it goes. The 1977 Reorganization Act allowed the president to abolish an agency, but the operative parts of the law expired decades ago. In 1984, the most recent credible attempt to restore them was abandoned in 2004. And even in fact, the 1977 included prohibitions on abolishment of any enforcement or statutory program against abolishing and transfer of consolidating departments or agency, telling the president to determine what changes the executive are necessary. So, unitary executive theories argue any member of the branch must be directly there, blah, 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 right? So, So, creating Schedule C. Let's see. New category, exempt from the mayors, the white, blah, blah, blah. Schedule F. So, basically, trying to recall the reason for it. Basically, there was a law that would protect bureaucrats from changeover of staff, because every new administration means new policy, new ideas, and everything. So the the line worker of the staff would be protected from changeover because, they would be able to continue running the government. Any policymakers would come from, the administration heads. So department heads, secretary, and so on, they would go and provide that information. What it really happened is entrench operatives in our political system, unselected, or I guess unelected bureaucrats that would stay there for decades on decades, continuing the work of previous administrations whenever they hired, which is why our government is schizophrenic, because you have a lot of bureaucratic back push in between the line workers. And when Trump tried to remove a lot of these line workers in these places, he found out he couldn't because of this statute. I can't remember. It's like federal system something. I can't remember. It was done back in the 20s, 1920s, 30s, in that time. But using the 4 years that he was out of office, he was able to read a little bit more carefully and say, when he came back, oh, I get to remove a whole department. And it got greater effects when the Chevron doctrine was removed, because now those Chevron doctrine couldn't make those agencies independent from the executive branch, even though they're on paper they're commanded under the executive branch. So this executive order is just expediting the ability to remove people faster than what the normal process is allowing, because he's already taken off the protections of the situation. So Schedule F proposed. So let's go on with that. Let me see. Let me see. Continuing on. So EU whiplash continues, so it does pushback. Let's see. Federal bureaucracy, administrative, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's see. So a lot of staffers and a lot of things like, no, you can't do that. Yeah, see, so this was from last year. Let me see. Trump's assault. Let me share this tab. Trump assault on independent agency and dangerous us all. Independent agencies were carefully designed by Congress to ensure that those charged with safeguarding critical important public interests like workers' rights, product safety, or households' financial security would act to serve the public good, not the president's political need. However, since taking office, Trump's administration has been a crusade to attack and undermine the effectiveness of the independent agency. Part of that effectiveness was SCOTUS reversing a rule about the Chevron doctrine. With the Chevron doctrines, they're no longer independent agency. They actually fall in line with the executive branch. We had, for the time being, a fourth branch of government. which what I was saying. Summarily firing dozens of independent agency leaders who by law can only be removed from office for misconduct based on political disagreement, or then stacking the board with Trump loyalists and setting seat vacants and denying agency ability to function, implementing new control over day-to-day operation of the agency, including giving the White House control over which agency projects to fund or defund, require every agency leader to employ a White House liaison in their office. White House liaison, quote unquote, was dodged. This is back in October 22nd, 25. For the first time, requiring independent agencies to submit draft regulations to the Office of Management and Budget for the White House review prior to publication, and to the coordination with the White House review all their existing regulation, giving Trump the power to change or veto independent agency expert-led standards. They are stripping control from the bureaucrats, the unelected bureaucrats, and giving it back to the elected representative. Trump is, you see what's going on here. You're wondering why all this bullshit's happening. Why is this happening? Well, because Democrats back in the 20s and no good Republicans decided, hey, we're going to allow this to happen to dilute the power of the executive branch. While all government agency needs some ability to make decisions based on policy, expert rather than political consideration, Congress deliberately to choose a structure of certain agency to be more independent for good reason. The decision particularly benefits from expert analysis and collaborative decision making and rooted in various perspectives. The Economic Political Institute, per the Century Foundations, it's the same deep how do you say it? It's the think tank group that also would say follow Fauci the science, more or less, in my opinion. It's an opinion. It's not a fact, it's an opinion. So, and basically what you're dealing with is you got to clean the board. Let's look at this one, which was Trump. This is from NPR. Trump strips job protection from 8,000 federal workers. This is yesterday. Let's see. President Trump has issued an executive order turning an estimated 8,000 federal workers into at-will employees, which means that the government could fire them without providing any reason. This move culminates in efforts Trump has launched during his first term to strip vast number of federal employees of civil service protection designed to insulate their work from political interference. Nearly all of the 8,000 people affected are at the highest level of civil service, known as GS 15. The Trump administration characterized the role as senior position with significant influence over policy. They include leaders of policy office, their chief of staff, heads of regional office, program managers, senior public affairs officer, and those overseeing spending and grants. The number of positions affected by Wednesday executive order is smaller than most anticipated. Originally, the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, estimated some 50,000 positions could be reclassified. The administration has not ruled out expanding the pool at this time. Tripling the number of at-will employees, the federal government currently has 4,000 political appointees who serve at the pleasure of the president. Until now, the rest of the workforce of approximately 2 million people could only be fired for certain reasons, such as inadequate performance or misconduct. In those agency must follow formal processes, including giving the employee an opportunity to appeal. In February, the administration finalized a rule creating a new category at-will employees called Schedule Policy Career. During Trump's first term, it was known as Schedule F. It's facing multiple lawsuits even before Wednesday's order, which spells out which jobs are now at will. People responsible for protecting our public health, safeguarding our environment, delivering our mails, managing our airports, protecting our public lands, enforcing our laws should be allowed to do their job, not targeted by the same government they serve. Sky Perryman, president of the Democracy Forward, one of the organization suing Trump administration over the rule. When the government expert can be fired without cause, it's not federal workers who are harmed. It's the people across the country who relies on these essential services every day. AKA, this is bullshit. This is appealing to emotional manipulation. This is emotional blackmail for the idiots who falls for it. If you go into a private sector company and you do a bad job, the company should be able to remove you at will. Especially if you're dealing with the public. This is affecting people's lives. So even greater pressure is on this for you to be doing this via merit. And unfortunately, whatever the intentions was before protecting people. It didn't turn out that way. You made it into a massive bureaucracy that was doing policy, their own policy, against the interests of the president they elected. The president is commander-in-chief both of the military and administration, executive officer of the nation. And because of the previous rules that were in place, the president didn't have any control over a third branch that diluted his powers and the powers of others as well. Mm-hmm. All right. Commentary, Tom Holman. All right. Mark Rubio just said something that's blowing up online. He pointed to Americans who work their entire lives only to retire on $800 to $1,000 a month in Social Security. Then compared to the claims of some of the new arrivals receive higher monthly benefits. Read that again. Work your whole life, less support. Just all right, more support.
Security. And then they run into somebody. One of the things I see a lot in South Florida are people that have been in this country that maybe came from Cuba 45 years ago. They've worked here their entire lives.
Blonde Kafka. So government employees will be held to the mayor's standards of privatized employees, playing the timeless violence. Exactly. But they're trying to spin it as, oh no, by doing that, you're going to deprive the people of their expertise and vital essential works. No, you're not. You're not. This is going to push them to actually be the best and provide information because they know that they'll be replaced by somebody who can do the job better, faster, and more accurate. That means that whatever influence are no longer in place. They're no longer an entrenched tick in the side of America's backside. And, you know, it's not all of them. It's just a few that spoiled the apple cart. But this is going to be the great shifting, as one would say. Back to Rubio.
They retire. They get $800, $900, $1,000 a month from Social Security. And then they run into somebody who just got here from Cuba 3 months ago, is 29 years old, doesn't work, and is given $1,500 a month in benefits by our government because they're refugees. That refugee, a year later, is traveling back to Cuba 15 times. So you're a refugee fleeing oppression from a place that you now go back and visit 15 times the following year. And in the meantime, we're giving you Medicaid, food stamps, health care for your children, cash payments from the refugee fund.
Dental.
So imagine if you've been working here for 40 years and your Social Security check is smaller than the benefits going to a 28-year-old able-bodied person who just got here. That's real. That happens. That's happening every day. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Farm Girl Carrie, things are really happening out there, friends. Don't get bogged down listening to doomsayers in the mainstream media. The old guard is crumbling and Trump is returning power where it belongs, to you and me. Sarah Kokina from Pernita Action delivers the goods here. All right, let's hear Susan.
Yesterday, Jamie Dimon, the chairman of J.P. Morgan.
Sorry, I think it was Susan. Susan.
Chase, the biggest bank in America, went on Fox News and made a confession to Maria Bartiromo.
Why did it take so long for corporate America to understand that the supply chains and by the way, elected officials, Congress and the White House, how come it's taken so long to understand that we can't have other countries, particularly adversaries, making our stuff? That's important.
We should have 15 years ago.
Think about that. The man at the very center of the financial system that hollowed out American industry in the first place now says that it was a mistake and we should have seen it 15 years ago. And he's not the only one. Mark Carney is sounding like Trump. Tony Blair is asking Trump's questions. The whole rules-based order is suddenly speaking the Trump language. But if you're watching the mainstream headlines, you're not seeing any of this. You're caught up in which judge just ruled what, or the latest social media storm engineered to keep you doom scrolling. But while you're watching the outrage cycle, something bigger is happening. What the media isn't going to tell you is that Donald Trump just carried out the biggest shift in economic and strategic power of the entire post-war period. And you're not supposed to see it. But Carney, Blair, and Diamond see it, and they're scrambling. When your enemies start sounding like you've already won the battle. This week, we heard from Mark Carney and Tony Blair, two of the most notorious operatives of that rules-based post-war order. Then Jamie Dimon chimed in for good measure. So Canada's Prime Minister and the central banker's central banker, Mark Carney, was at the New York Economic Club on May 28, where he repeated his now familiar line that the rules-based order is ruptured by Donald Trump's policies and that clinging to it nostalgically is not an option. But then he launched into his new Canada Strong pitch.
So in our first year in government, we cut taxes on incomes, on capital gains, on new business investments. We introduced something called the productivity super deduction. We're in the process of catalyzing $1 trillion of investment in Canada over the course of the next 5 years in energy, transportation, data, and defense. We've launched our most significant regulatory reforms in generations to fast-track hundreds of billions of dollars of nation-building infrastructure projects, and we're realizing our full potential as an energy superpower. Because a country that can't feed, fuel, or defend itself is not truly sovereign. Because, as well, strategic autonomy today extends to building partnerships and capabilities across AI, financial payments, space, critical minerals.
So there you have Mark Carney talking about economic sovereignty and energy and business investments in strategic minerals. It almost sounds like a discussion at a Trump cabinet meeting. Blair and Carney are trying to rebrand. Jamie Dimon is confessing. He's out in California at the 2026 Reagan Economic Forum, along with Scott Bessent, who we'll hear from in a minute. But in that clip we showed at the top of the show, Jamie Dimon acknowledged that outsourcing was a disaster. He also jumped on board to agree with the new Fed chairman, Kevin Warsh, on the need to reduce the Fed's balance sheet, which has been a source of almost free money for Wall Street since especially the 2008 blowout. After making those mea culpas, he waxed eloquent about the former might of the United States when we were the arsenal of democracy.
You got to read the book Freedom Forge, how the America got fully engaged after Pearl Harbor. Like we went from building almost no ships, no tanks, no aircraft to, we built 144 aircraft carriers in 4 years. There was no car produced in America from 1943 to 1945.
Wow.
All those plants, all of them, and not just GM and Ford, all those plants were building bombers, fighters, tanks, jeeps, ships. We went from building a Liberty ship in 1 year to 2 days. And so we just got to get this machine going, and hopefully this will get it done fast enough.
The World War
Yeah, they don't want that. They don't want that American might. That means we've become independent of the system.
II mobilization.
And if you notice, since the 1950s, they've been trying to strip that American manufacturing away from us, little bit by little bit, like a frog's being boiled.
Was one of the few times in the 20th century that we actually used the American system. Dimon described the process, but he didn't name it by name. Because the understanding of the power of the American system is what the empire does not want you to know or to use. These three pillars of the post-war order, a central banker turned prime minister, a former prime minister, and the most powerful banker on Wall Street, all trying to channel Donald Trump. They recognize that something very big is happening, and they're scrambling to stay relevant. Well, here's what that big thing is. Yesterday, President Trump posted this on Truth Social. Think about that. A tanker with almost 1 million barrels of American oil headed to Japan. 2 days earlier, at the televised cabinet meeting, Interior Secretary Doug Burgum put it in the context.
And of course, you mentioned Venezuela, but all that flowing to our Gulf Coast refineries is also helping to keep the price of gas down at home. So again, it's an amazing transformation. Bottom line is the center of geopolitics around energy has moved from other parts of the world to the Western Hemisphere.
So when you see that oil tanker, or when Burgum says the center of geopolitics has shifted, you're seeing the American system replace the British system in real time. And it's happening because Trump's team is consciously restoring American system principles, while it equally consciously rejects British system principles.
So there you go. And that's why I keep saying finances are going to be removed step by step, brick by bricks. Someday it's not going to be just bricks. It's going to be a brick. Kari Bonnet, Bess is taking no prisoner day 2. All right.
Electricity bills are up 8.5%. Is that golden?
Sir, you can ask.
Yes or no?
You can ask
Yes
me a
or
question.
no?
You can't tell me how to answer it. USAID, that has nothing to do with us.
But payment information has nothing to do with it.
Again, it was not sourced at the Treasury. Why are you bringing this up with me?
Your narrative is not lining up with what Americans are experiencing right now.
You're not entitled. You're entitled to your opinion, not your own facts.
Safe to say that this is probably the most corrupt Treasury Department in our nation's history. And while you dance around questions to protect
the Congresswoman is slanderous. There is nothing corrupt. We move at the highest levels. I will not stand for that.
It's the undercooked spaghetti principle. You throw it up against the wall and it doesn't stick. The hearing still has got a little ways to go. We'll keep our eye out for any more interesting moments to bring you. Aisha.
Electricity bills are up 8.5.
All right. Let's see. And that's a fun palate cleanser. Tolkien Worlds, always catching strays. 2003, 37 years old. 2024, 58 years old. Riley, Boromir would have looked younger. Boromir never gets a break. Oh boy. That's kind of hilarious. Julie Donuts, President Trump is talking about pull it. Let's hear what he has to say.
Did a great job. And it's an acting position. It's not a permanent. He's not going to be permanent because, I don't think he'd want to be permanent. But he's a very smart guy, and he may find out some things about the rigged elections, et cetera, et cetera. I think he'd like to do it. I think he wants to do it very much, got a lot of energy. But he'll be very good. Again, it's not a permanent position. Right. We're interviewing people right now, but it's did a great job.
Yeah, don't be surprised if the one being interviewed is Devin Nunes. Spoilers. Eric, oh yeah. And what did I say? Hatchet Man. Eric, a bombshell report just confirmed that the groups organizing riots and agitators at Delaney's Hall, ICE, Newark, New Jersey, has a close to $1 billion in annual revenues per Fox News. Non-profits are involved who gets tax benefits status. Knew it. There's a network of well-organized funded groups, as many as hundreds, including Indivisible, funded by Chinese-linked billionaire Neville Singham, whose wife is part of Code Pink, plus the ACLU and more. The entire operation includes public social media coordination on top of private signal groups run by Marxist and pro-Palestinian radical. Shut it all down, says Eric.
Individuals that came in from Portland, not from New Jersey, came from Portland to lead. We've seen that they've been well supplied. We've seen Antifa flags being flown. And once the state police came out, and which, by the way, awesome group of guys, they understand crowd control very well. And they started pushing the individuals back after they warned them, started making arrests. You saw that the situation quickly got under control. And for us, when we first started calling, they were simply saying they didn't have the resources. And it's interesting to me that they finally found the resources and started clearing their streets. We can control our building. We can provide security for our own building. But if the city and state streets, that is their job to do. However, we will do it if we have to protect our employees. Individuals that came in from Portland, not from New Jersey, came from Portland to lead. We've seen that they've been well supplied. We've seen Antifa flags being flown. And
there you go. Polymark, one of the biggest gambling platform. Tom Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene are reportedly planning a takeover of the Republican Party. In the future, nobody would want to be a Republican, just like nobody's want to be a Democrat. Inside a paper, Lufthansa Boeing 787-9 sustained significant damage after landing gear collapsed at a gate in Frankfurt. Whoops. That guy was like, well, there goes the flight. Yikes. Somebody loosened something. Okay, and then here's a longer version of Scott Bassett in one of the conversation. Storm has arrived, posted this clip.
So what is the administration's plan to lower gas prices?
We've taken the many...
Are you in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We have moved to...
Are you in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We would like to work
Are you able to answer that, or is that not
Well, if I'm not interrupted, I can, Congressman.
Well, I'm waiting for your answer.
We have asked Congress to move to eliminate the gas tax. That is done through statute.
You have moved that. So you're in favor of eliminating the gas tax.
We have asked for that.
So we can join bipartisanly today because you're in favor to eliminate the gas tax.
Again, the White House has asked for it, sir.
They have? Why isn't it before the committee for a vote?
This guy was... Are you in favor? We did it. Wait. Let's see. Blonde Golf Girl. Deport Antifa to a third world country so they can help those citizens.
I don't run the agenda.
Well, it's good to hear that we're in favor of something that we can work on bipartisan.
He has nothing. He's been defanged. Defanged. I was going to rant about why isn't the administration not eliminated the gas tax. Oh, that's gonna significantly drop the federal gas tax because there's two taxes happening when you're at the pump. You have the federal tax and you have the state tax, and then you have the county tax. So depending on where you live, if you're wondering, hey, why is my gas over here? It's like cheaper than over there. You just have to look, hey, who's taxing what here? It might be your county isn't taxing anything from gasoline. It might be just the federal and state. Hence is why it's cheaper. Maybe your state's not even taxing your gas. Maybe that's why it's even cheaper where you are, because it's like, we don't get income from your tax one. Here in Florida, I know that the state is also taking revenues from gas tax, which is why I feel that we can eliminate property taxes, because look, a consumption tax makes more money than a one-time tax that happens annually. And it provides all the service. They're actually running a lot of services and projects with the gas tax. You should ask your mayor and your city council and ask, are you using sales tax from gasoline? If so, how much are you using to for services, government services? And you'll find out that roughly 75% of services is being paid by your gas tax. George?
Yeah, but in Canada, don't worry about it. It's a blanket tax. We just blanket everything.
Yeah, it's called carbon tax.
No. It's worse than carbon tax.
It's a fart tax.
I didn't say that. You said it.
Exactly. I'm on this side.
I disavow that.
But we read it online.
Yeah, I know.
From the actual Canadian government website.
I don't know anything about it.
Eric, it's official. John Bolton is planning to plead guilty to retaining classified information. Bolton could be fined up to $2.25 million. He must face prison time.
Do you know why he's pleading guilty?
Go ahead.
Corporate speak?
Go ahead.
Because that's the lightest sentence he can get.
Yeah.
Everything else is, I believe, the death penalty.
Oh, you mean like treason?
I don't know. It's like those commercials, for whatever drug they're selling. It could cause vomiting, nausea, paralysis, and death, or worse.
Right.
So here, he could get prison plus life plus execution, or worse. Yeah. So he's going for the lighter sentence.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Or let's dig a little deeper into this. Brian Gates, there goes Bolton. Take a wild guess who I think is next. This is Brian Gates back in March. It's been known for some months now that former CIA Director John Brennan is the target of a federal grand jury seated in Southern District of Florida. Federal grand juries led by DOJ's prosecutors. How did we learn months ago that Brandon is the target of at least one federal jury in Florida led by a DOJ prosecutor? Well, that's a very good question. I'll be happy to answer it. You know that Brandon has been a target of a federal grand jury led by the DOJ prosecution team because Brandon himself disclosed this months ago. Brandon disclosed that he had his legal team link a letter to the news media where he begged the head judge of a federal court in Southern District of Florida to not place his case in the courtroom of Judge Eileen Cannon should an indictment be unsealed against him. So to sum up, the DOJ has been pursuing an active case against former CIA Director John Brennan for several months at this point. And if John Brennan has not disclosed this himself, you would have never known about it. Because Pam Bondi, she ain't said shit, and she's out. Kash Patel, he didn't spill the team. Dan Bongino, Tom Blanche, they kept their lips zipped. It's a secret grand jury process. It's awesome. 99% of you can't pick the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida out of a lineup, even if your life depended on it. He's the guy currently directing the prosecution team, leading multiple grand jury down here in Florida, investigating the grand conspiracy cases. Ain't life grand? And why is this relevant? Hey, George, when he pleads guilty of retaining classified information, those classified information that they collected become federal evidence.
Oopsie.
That can be used in any federal trial cases.
Whoopsie.
Meaning, if John Bolton has information that included CIA Director John Brennan, they can use it because it's been entering evidence since John Bolton pleaded guilty. So not only is he getting a light sentence of $2.3 million, he's also providing evidence legally into the courtroom against a lot of other people. Isn't life grand?
Whoopsie, 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 whoopsie.
Nobody's thinking about that. They're saying jail John Bolton because he's a warmonger and he made poo-poos in the Middle East.
Well, he does scare people.
Yes.
He should be working at a fun house.
No, he should be working for Putin. I think he, like John Bolton, is like, ew, he even scares me.
Yeah.
So, but the point is, right? This was done because we knew where this was going to end. And it's going to end with you guys smiling. Oh, speaking of stupid, right?
Yeah.
Hey George, what was the story of the hunt of Red October?
Stolen submarine, Whisper Drive, Sean Connery.
Thank you. Adequate summary. Hey, we found out more updates on that CIA officer that stole $40 million in gold bars. Apparently, he was also overseeing a secret submarine secret plans for nuclear submarines program.
Oh, okay, sure. All right. I'm sorry, but that definitely was not on my bingo card.
if he were drinking right now, you'd be spitting it out.
Yeah, it'd be completely spit out. Right now, I would have to go to what we call those
Mhm.
Chinese people.
Yeah.
That press jackets and stuff.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hanoi.
The laundry.
Hanoi hand.
Hanoi hand. They put too much dark.
Yeah, it gets the spots out.
Yeah. You come back here. You no get no starch.
Yeah.
Polymark, largest prediction market, the world's largest prediction market. New, Joe Rogan is reportedly being considered as a possible 60-minute replacement for Anderson Cooper.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Today, tonight on 60 Minutes.
He might as well just own the network at this point.
I think his valor is worth more than the network pay him.
Oh, he's got 100 million people.
Yeah,
the network barely has 1% of that.
Yeah, Spotify is paying him $100 million. I don't think 60 Minutes or CBS are able to afford him.
Duh.
unless he's like, hey guys, this is Joe Rogan podcast. I just want to make an announcement. I'm buying CBS in 60 Minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Mario, ZNA, the U.S. and Russia will sign a deal tomorrow to build a tunnel connecting Alaska and Russia. The Trump-Putin tunnel would run beneath the Bering Strait and cost an estimate $8 billion. Meanwhile, the European shares of the global economy has dropped from 30% to 17%, and once this tunnel is fully activated, it would be even less, George.
You called it.
You
called it. You called this one. There's nothing I can say. I'm just in awe.
Yeah.
You called this. This was a call. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah. When Putin's sovereign wealth fund manager and advisor is saying online, hey, we're talking about this. We're going to do this. It's going to be done, And Trump has activated a sovereign wealth fund for the United States. And George, remember our discussion that we had saying, hey, the tariff tolls between the the strait coming in and out is going to be enormous progress.
Oh, yeah.
That means that with this tunnel,
this tunnel is going to be a lot more than just cars going back and forth.
Oh no,
they'll have pipes,
yeah,
for resources,
yeah,
like oil and gas.
Yeah,
I mean, it just is, other than transportation,
right?
This tunnel is just going to level up Russia. Holy smokes!
Right.
Oh my gosh!
It's gonna.
This tunnel will be the most protected piece of furniture on the planet.
This is more valuable than the Panama Canal.
Yeah, it's like a Russian army, United States Army.
Right.
They're going to be, and their submarines. They're going to be making sure that no one fucks with this tunnel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Oh,
once this tunnel is fully activated, say bye-bye to any income taxes, any Social Security taxes.
This will top it off. Oh my gosh! I'm just, I was geeking out when you were saying this stuff, but now this is a reality. It's like, dude, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like this is way bigger than SpaceX IPO.
Right. Blonde Golf Girl, $8 billion to connect a pipeline between two countries in a frozen tundra, while California spent $15 billion for a non-existent high-speed rail. Yes. Here's a couple.
But excuse me, that non-existent high-speed rail.
Yeah.
It goes to the back rooms.
Yes. Oh, you've been watching it, weren't you?
Yeah, I've been catching up on the YouTube videos.
See?
Holy shit, those are fucking awesome.
Those were 2022, I believe.
16-year-old kid, man.
Yeah,
was doing that.
Yeah.
That kid's talented as heck.
Yeah, he's the one who directed the movie.
I know, but he was 16 years old when he did the videos.
Yeah.
I mean,
created it. He wanted to do creativity, and that's the most creativity imaginable. Haunted mansions and all that stuff kind of deal.
Yeah, totally. All right, what's this?
Oh, this is continuing on. MJ Truth Ultra. Wow, one step closer to realizing John F. K's dream. President Putin's special envoy, Kirill Dmitriev, who we did his tweets or his posts last year when he was talking about, the tunnel, announces an agreement will be signed tomorrow between Russia's RDIF, which is Russia's sovereignty wealth fund, and an engineering company for a tunnel design across the Bering Strait connecting Russia and the United States. Recently declassified JFK file shows President John F. Kennedy was in talk to build a intercontinental peace bridge between Alaska and Russia before JFK was assassinated.
Oh, the Democrats are going to be pissed. Wasn't Kennedy a Democrat?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be pissed. Trump's gonna go, hey, why are you shitting on me, man? Hey, it's your idea.
Exactly.
Just making it real.
Right.
У нас будет новость, завтра мы подписываем соглашение о том, что мы продолжаем проектирование тоннеля, поэтому тоннель будет, проектирование тоннеля мы делаем, и это будет одним из больших инфраструктурных проектов между нашими странами. У нас будет новость.
So,
what he said.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and this is why I speculated. I'm pretty sure Elon Musk is all over this. Why? Because Elon Musk has been showing the last several months, since last year, the Boring Company. You need tunnels to be built for Mars. Well, we know that Mars, based on the evidence found that there's underwater, it's water underneath the ground, right?
Yep.
So this would be a good experience for Elon Musk, who wants to go and build conditions similar where, water would be present, right?
Yeah.
How well would his technology work doing that?
Yeah, and his technology, unlike every other technology on the planet, the Boring Company,
yeah,
it's all automated.
Exactly. So there wouldn't be any human casualties in place.
Yeah, and they're able to do like, was it 100 times more tunnel
faster? Yeah,
than the next competition down.
Right, because I remember the tunnel between England and France under the Rhine was like about, what was it, $200 billion at that time?
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. Now we have it at $8 billion. If that works, right, that can also revalorize the idea that Florida had years ago under Jeb Bush, and Jeb Bush killed it because he wanted his nepotism friends to do it.
Good old Jed.
Yeah.
Old Jed.
But the idea was we would make those same tunnels, right? Because they proved it with the Rhine, and Florida isn't able to have tunnels here because, you go about 2 or 3 foot, so you start getting water, swamp water and everything. There was real possibility, and now if Elon Musk is able to prove this with the Bering Strait tunnels between Russia and the United States, that means he can build a tunnel all underneath Florida, and connect all the big cities.
You know what? I got an idea.
And they can actually make it into the high speed rail, so everything's underground. Fast.
If Elon can successfully do this, then there's no reason why he can't dig deeper and get to the underground existing tunnels that have been around for thousands upon thousands of years.
Yeah, he probably does do it. He just doesn't mention it.
The underworld network.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I think he does. He just doesn't. It's classified.
Mm-hmm. He can put a tunnel right to Antarctica, right to the alien base in Antarctica, where the Germans have been occupying it since World War II.
Right. Well, George, I think your project is going to be more expensive now.
What do you mean?
Mario, breaking. Trump just signed an executive order that will functionally wall off Canadian export economy from the United States. Every Canadian company shipping to U.S. must now post much higher per shipment bonds, be CTPAT validated by U.S. Custom, disclose beneficiary ownership in domestic assets, provide foreign tax ID and detailed supply chain data, lose access to informal entry for low-value shipment entirely. The reason the foreign importers can't be trusted to comply with U.S. law, to trigger Canada's documented failure to enforce its own forced labor ban. 80% of our exports, this Canadian, goes south. The Prime Minister said yesterday, we expected this. Canadian who exports to the U.S. sure as hell didn't. And then this is the executive order strengthening custom enforcement. That means your shipping is going to be cost prohibitive for you, George.
That's only from a company.
Yeah.
I'm poor. You got to keep it in context, man. It said for companies.
Right.
I'm a poor guy.
You're a poor guy.
I'm a poor guy. I'm just going to put something in the mail. And they're going to look at me and go, oh, shit, yeah, let's give this guy a break.
I'm surprised you just don't grab all your stuff, drive over to Detroit, and mail it all.
I'll never make it. It'll be a one-way adventure to the promised land.
He's like, I'll never return if I leave. I know myself.
Is this what America's like?
Yeah. Well, we're having a lot of Canadian expats here in Florida.
What the hell, man? Those assholes. They just get to Florida and go like, okay, I'm staying. It's like Dude, you're no different than the illegals coming in, except you came in with a little more panache.
Panache.
I don't even know if that word is used correctly.
Yeah, a little twirl. Insider paper. President Trump announced a $700 million funding for coal plants and energy infrastructure, using the money to maintain or open 14 additional coal plants throughout the United States.
Is that good or bad?
That's good. That means more energy.
Energy.
We need to be energy. Yeah, so here it goes. President Trump signed this from Nick's order. President Trump signs an executive order invoking the Defense Production Act to save 13 coal plants across 10 states. Biden tried his hardest to close these plants. Trump is rebuilding them better than ever. Today, we're officially invoking the Defense Production Act that's only able during a national emergency and wartime flooding to save 13 coal plants in West Virginia, Kentucky, North Carolina, Indiana, Tennessee, Arizona, Arkansas, Oklahoma, North Dakota, and Wisconsin. Our action will allow these facilities to invest in upgrades that will extend their operational life for decades into the future and reinforce the reliability of our electric grid, and most importantly, keep electricity prices very low for American people.
What? Who would have thunk it?
Not the Germans.
Yeah. In terms of going,
always with the German jokes.
Yeah.
First you make fun of our bitter, and then you'll make fun of our laugh. Now you make fun of our stupidity. Yeah, I mean, what else do you have?
It's we covered it as it was happening in real time when they chose to shut down their energy. It's like I'm going, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Even a kid would go, that's the stupidest thing ever. What's this?
Oh, yeah, Scott Bassett. Listen to this.
Recently, President Trump proudly claimed that he doesn't think about Americans' financial situation when it comes to the war with Iran. So I want to ask you, Secretary Bessent, do you agree with President Trump that you also do not care about Americans' financial situations?
Congresswoman, who was the president during World War I?
Can you?
No,
are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm asking, who was the president during World War I?
I don't know, but clearly you are.
Wow. Jeez. She's a congresswoman. She doesn't know basic history?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's only
I'm a poor Canadian, and I know it was the president of World War I.
Okay, who's the president during World War
I? Wasn't it Woodrow Wilson?
Bingo.
Let's see. Wait. Wilson, FDR, McKinley.
No. If you're going by order now. I mean, FDR was World War II, right?
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. Okay. You got me.
You got you.
Yeah. Who was it?
What?
What?
You were right.
Ike? Was it Ike?
No. Ike was a general in World War II.
Oh, okay.
But no, I'm saying you were right that it was it was Woodward Wilson.
Then why'd you tell me I was wrong?
I said you were right.
Oh, I thought you said I was wrong.
Yeah, no, you were wrong. Who came after Woodward Wilson?
Oh, okay.
And I was saying,
so my first choice was right.
Right, and I said you're right, and then you were saying
I thought you said I was wrong.
No, I said you were right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so basically, and who was avowed racist and a Democrat.
God bless those racist Democrats.
Oh, by the way, he's the one who introduced the League of Nations, wanted us to be in there, campaigned so hard that he had a stroke, that his wife and chief of staff, I believe, or secretary of state, I can't remember quite correctly, was controlling the presidency during the last.
Just like Nancy.
Yeah, just like Nancy.
And just like Mrs. Bush. No, Mrs. Biden.
Mrs. Biden, yes. So.
Oh, and like Hillary.
Oh yeah, Hillary was.
Oh my gosh, there's an epidemic here. Our first lady's taking over the country.
The wife. Yeah, look at the wife. So let's recite the last couple of presidents. So we currently have President Trump as 47, right? President Otto Penn, but
how do you gotta say that?
46. President Trump, 45.
Yeah.
Barack Obama, but we should look at Michelle because she had the pants in that relationship.
Yeah.
44. And George W. Bush, 43.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Clinton, but really Hillary Clinton, 42.
Mm-hmm.
George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, he wore the pants.
Nah, his wife, Barbara, wore the pants.
All right, continue.
They jointly wore the pants.
Okay.
41. You had Ronald Reagan, right? 40. With Nancy, being president during his last term because he also had a stroke and unconscious. You had Jimmy Carter as 39.
No, he wore the pants.
Yeah, he wore the pants.
Backwards and inside out.
Exactly. What is it? So 39. 38 was Gerald Ford that nobody elected. The only president to be president without any elections.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, because Nixon.
Yeah. Before well, technically the second one, because forgetting Lyndon, but Nixon, let me see, what was it? 38, 37, 36, Nixon's 36. Lyndon B. Johnson, vice president. Gerald Ford was because Nixon had another VP left out. They had to choose Gerald Ford as replacement. So yeah, Gerald Ford was never elected. Lyndon B. Johnson, then JFK, 35. Eisenhower Ike, who was a communist, and his brother was communist. Harry S. Truman, who was also communist.
Truman was a communist?
Yeah.
But that guy helped create the Captain America protocol.
He was a New Deal's Democrat.
Damn it.
Franklin Roosevelt.
No wonder Captain America ended up becoming Hydra.
Exactly. That's the true face of Captain America. Franklin D. Roosevelt, which we're saying, and he was elected 4 times. And then died in his fourth term.
At least he believed.
So, Herbert Hoover was next, the predecessor after Franklin D. Roosevelt. Kevin Coolidge was after one. Warren G. Harding was during the Roaring 20s. Then Woodrow Wilson is what you were talking about. Then William Howard Taft, very prominent political family at the time. Teddy Roosevelt, then McKinley. I'm going backwards, right? McKinley.
Yeah.
Then the first president to be elected twice non-continuously, Grover Cleveland, and then Benjamin Harrison, and then Grover Cleveland. So basically, he ran, lost to Benjamin Harrison, and then won again. So Trump is the second president to do the same thing. It was, it's almost like 100 years, basically, before another president did that situation. Then Chester A. Arthur, James Garfield, he got assassinated. Rutherford B. Hayes, I think he got assassinated as well. Ulysses Grant, he won on being the Union general. Andrew Jackson, which everybody knows, 16 president. Abraham Lincoln, who was assassinated. James Buchanan, one of the worst president. Franklin Pierce got roughshod by both sides, both party at that time. Millard Fillmore, crappy. Zachary Taylor was assassinated because he was introducing sovereign money, and bankers didn't like it. James Polk, promised to run one time and did everything that he needed to do, but not all of it, because if he did, we would have Canada as as part of the United States, and we had Cuba as well, and the northern half of Mexico.
Right. Are you telling me it was because that douchebag that Canada could have been a United States country?
Yeah, he wanted Canada to become part of the United States. And he also wanted Cuba, and he wanted the northern half of Mexico, all the good parts, up to the peninsulas.
All the good parts.
Yeah.
all the store franchises.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me see. But he didn't have time, and he could have probably done it if he ran again, but he said, I'm only going to do this one term. And
I only have one life to give to this country, and that's it.
Exactly. After that's John Tyler. Then the Harrisons have bad luck, because William Henry Harrison is actually a cousin of the other Harrison that got assassinated, and he also got assassinated. So two Harrisons of the Harrison family got assassinated.
Wait, are you telling me they just made a mistake and they got one Harrison? We got the wrong one. We got to go back and get the other one.
Well, no, they got both Harrison, because both Harrisons wanted to, again, go away from British commerce and everything, and introduce a lot of new things that would advance American sovereignty and nationality. Got a mad disease here. I feel sick and throwing up. I got poisoned. But I don't say that.
Oh.
So you got William Harrison assassinated. Then his cousin years later runs for president, trying to do what his cousin Harrison wanted to do. Gets assassinated as well. Next one is the only Dutch president that we had, Martin van Buren. And then we have, let me see.
Yeah, how did Van Buren do?
Yeah. Van Buren was okay, Oh, wait, I need to go back a little bit. I said Andrew Johnson because after Van Buren's Andrew Jackson, and I said Andrew Jackson after Grant. No, that was Andrew Johnson. Excuse me, my error. Andrew Johnson.
Whoopsie.
It's before Ulysses Grant. Now we're in Andrew Jackson, who was amazing, George. Amazing. He was a war hero. He got rid of the federal central banks, and he was for sound money, backed resource money, and he actually lowered the cost of living. He was beloved by the nation and hated by all the rich people.
Oh, he was really?
Yeah.
By the rich?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so technically you could say that he was the Trump of his day.
Did he get assassinated?
No, but they killed his son.
Because they thought he was going to be there instead?
Yeah, they tried to poison him, but his son got the poison instead.
It must have pissed him off.
Oh, and then the slogans during the election stressed out his wife so much that she died.
Oh my God!
So they killed his wife and son.
So the words are more powerful than swords.
Yeah, because it was such much slander that she was, and it shocked her. She got a stroke and died.
That blows.
Yeah. So I don't blame Jackson for, running and sticking to all those political chumps. He was the first president to be impeached, FYI.
Really?
Yeah. That's why they always said when Trump was being impeached, it was a big thing because the only other president that was impeached was Bill Clinton for Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, but that guy, his impeachment was bullshit. Everybody knew it.
Yeah, his impeachment should have been for the arms sales and loss of nuclear codes to China.
Yeah, not blowjobs.
Exactly.
Blowjobs for weapons, please.
I mean, we're going to find out that Monica Lewinsky is probably CIA, and that's what's all a cover-up, so they could distract from that.
The possibilities just exist.
Yeah. And then his predecessor for Andrew Jackson is John Quincy Adams, son of John Adams. Then you have James Monroe of the Monroe Doctrine. He was the president that started the Monroe Doctrine, saying, we're going to protect our Western Hemisphere from all the interference from global powers, because we don't want you to muck up our, country. And
I think he was looking at, I think when he said that, he was looking at England.
Yeah, he was looking at England, but the first time they used the Monroe Doctrine was to Venezuela for England, because they were Guyana, which is right next to Venezuela. Guyana is the only South American country that speaks English officially.
Really?
Yeah, you can go to Guyana and they'll talk English.
So I can vacation there?
Mm-hmm. Their capital is Georgetown.
I'm Georgetown.
Yeah. It used to be a Dutch colony before they sold it to the England.
Oh, those fucking Dutch, man. They're all over the place.
Yeah. And then basically what happened with the Monroe Doctrine is that Venezuela was like, yo, England, you can't take our land that have all these gold mine. This is around 1920s, I want to, or 1820s, I want to say. And basically, England says, no, we're going to take it because this is our territories. Here's our things, and you're going to accept it. And then Venezuela, thinking, hey, you said Monroe Doctrine that you're going to protect the Western Hemisphere from outsider. Back us up. And what did America did? They gave Venezuela the finger and gave the territories that had all these gold mines to England, which is what powered them out to become more financially powerful, because a lot of the gold that they had England was from Venezuela, which Venezuela is still disputing to today.
Even after we conquered Venezuela?
They're still disputing, They're still disputing it.
They're ungrateful, aren't they?
Yeah. Before James Monroe is James Madison, who was first treasurer of the United States as well. Thomas Jefferson, third president. What was his name? The guy who killed Hamilton. Shoot. It's the tip of my tongue. Tip of my tongue. He was vice president for Jefferson.
Vice president for Jefferson.
Yeah, because at that time they basically the winner of the election was president, but the second running person, right, became vice president until the election laws of 18 something saying that the vice president had to be the same party.
Oh no.
But yeah, Aaron Burr. Thank you, Hamilton. So Aaron Burr was actually very American, very patriotic, and very American with American forward leanings. Jefferson, not Jefferson, but Hamilton had a lot of Marxism. What is it? A lot of loyalty still to England. A lot of ideas for central bank and central powers and monarchies. He was one of the people who said, "Hey, we should have a Marcus king here, a monarchy." And everybody like, "F no, we're trying to leave the monarchy. We don't want to join a monarchy, right?"
Yeah, but this one's different.
Yeah, this one's different. And Hamilton was the guy who used U.S. funds to pay for his mistress, and then got blackmailed by his mistress' husband.
That didn't go well, did it?
Yeah. So Aaron Burr, who was patriotic, did everything was right, ended up being hated because he killed Hamilton, who, shot in the sky. Fickle how people remember things. Yeah, don't forget Hamilton, general asshole. But hate Aaron Burr because he actually went through with the duel.
Wow.
Stupid. Thomas Jefferson, who was friends with John Adams, and both of them hated that the other one outlived each other, but died on the same day, the 4th of July.
Yeah, they both passed away at the same time.
Yeah. John Adams, the first, I think the second ambassador, first ambassador to England, second ambassador to France. He was there to help Benjamin Franklin, who was having too much fun with the French, the French noblewomen.
Yeah,
a lot of chicks. Franklin adapted to the French lifestyle. He was he's like, "Oh, good stuff. Yes, I really enjoyed it." And John Adams like, "Frank, my man, stop giving beef to these French ladies. We need to get some beef from the king to pay for the debts that the congressional army's having."
Benjamin Franklin. Hey, did you know I invented electricity?
Did he know that I invented the lightning vein?
Yeah.
The where that pole where the lightning strikes.
Yeah.
Instead of the building.
Yeah.
Did you know that I invented the library? The library, yes, it's a place where books are loaned out for the citizens to read and return.
Whoa! Franklin did that?
Yeah, that was Franklin's invention.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's fucking huge.
Yeah, the library.
I thought the library thing just rolled over from the universities.
No, universities would never do that. Franklin was the one who came with the idea, saying, "Look, if you want a strong citizenship to know their right, they need to know how to read." And most people can't afford books because they're expensive. But if we make a library open to the public, they can come out, check out the books, and read it and learn.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Can you imagine the first person to have a library card?
Yeah.
Or hell, a late book from Library 1?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. Library 1 was in I think it's either Philadelphia or Boston, because Boston is where Franklin was at, but Philadelphia is where the original capital of the United States were.
Well, a lot of dumb people in that part of the world.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
Democrats.
That explains it.
So that's kind of what's happening. And then John Adams was the second president, and then George Washington. Sorry. Too many Georges, but George Washington, first president, first commander in chief. He was chosen originally because he fought in the French Indian War. That's how he made his mark.
Oh, he knew stuff.
Yeah, he knew stuff.
Oh.
Also, his brother Lawrence Washington was, I believe, the owner of the island off of Nova Scotia, I believe, at the time, and Martha Vineyard.
Yeah.
And he was pretty freaking rich at that time. What was the island? Shoot. I think it was, what was it? I don't think it wasn't the French. It wasn't the French. It was, I think, Saint Pierre and Miquelon. Somewhere around there, because you know the Gulf of St. Lawrence, right? You should. It's in your country, George.
My country?
Yes, your country.
So who?
It says the borders. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, the St. Lawrence River, yes. What about it?
It's named after Lawrence Washington.
I thought it was named after Lawrence of Arabia.
No, he wasn't even alive at that time.
Well, they were forward thinking, you know?
Yeah, that just proves that you were time travelers. Gotcha.
So St. Lawrence is named after
Lawrence Washington.
And Lawrence Washington is who again?
Brother of George Washington.
Son of a bitch. Washington's all over the place, isn't he?
Yeah.
And what did the brother of George Washington do that was so important that he got the St. Lawrence River named after him?
He was rich. Fucking rich. Ridiculously rich.
Shit. That explains Washington being president.
Yeah.
Only rich people, you know?
Right. Let's see. And he comes from the lines of Washingtons.
The long lines of Washingtons?
Right. So
who was the first Washington? The guy who washed the pants? Usually, back in those days, the name would reflect the profession.
So you had Lawrence Washington the First, right? Mm-hmm. High Church Rector of the Church of England. Then you had Lawrence Washington the Second one, who was a slave holder, lawyer, soldier, politician. And then you had Lawrence Washington, also prominent landowner, member of the Ohio Company of Virginia, and he also founded a lot of things over here. So many reasons George Washington. And like I said, they own an island off of them, and they had to give that up when United States was formed.
Wait, they had an island?
Yeah,
the Rhode Island?
The island Saint Pierre, somewhere over there at the mouth of St. Lawrence.
Wow, holy smokes.
Yeah. They made trades, George. They made trades.
It would seem that way.
All right. Colonel Tom Walken, International Syndicates, responding to Brian Cates. Did I mishear, or did Dr. Oz just say there's foreign entities and foreign government involved in the massive fraud that's being uncovered and investigated in Ohio?
No shit, Sherlock.
Well, yes. You just have to point it out. Hey, foreign governments are stealing our Medicare and Medicaid funds. Yay. Holy crap. ICE of 48 illegal immigrants in South Carolina, both the plant manager and HR coordinators as well for casting company in Abbeville, South Carolina, were arrested and faced years in prison for illegal hiring.
Oh, jeez.
You F up and you'll find out. Shoot.
Well, shouldn't they just go after the HR department, because those guys would know?
Well, they did. The HR coordinator.
Oh.
Oh, well. Copy. All right, turn Colin Watkins. All the leftists are pissed that the gravy trains are drying up and citizens are getting to keep their own money. God is glorious. Thank you, Ron DeSantis. The meltdown is enjoyable to watch. Palm Beach Post, mind-boggling and insulting tax cut plan has towns bracing for the worst.
What?
Yeah, so basically because of this amendment, they're saying, oh no, we can't make more money off taxpayers now.
Oh no, we're going to have to cut your services like roadworks. Nope, that's a different budget.
Exactly.
We're going to have to cut services for police. Nope, that's a different budget.
Budget.
We're going to have to cut the service for school bus. Nope, that's a different budget. We're going to have to cut the road service. Nope, that's a different budget.
Because there's sales tax, community tax, school tax, which was not included in the amendment, so all school related taxes are still part of it. So yeah, they're screwed. Eric, President Trump just revealed acting director of national intelligence Bill Bullpitt may be exposing major election fraud during his time in the role. Hatchet man. Bear repeating.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops. It's kind of dumb when they have to spell out the obvious, but Bruce says Bank of Montreal predict that Canada will become in dead last in economic growth in the G20 in 2026.
Yeah, but you know what? We're technically in a recession. We're not in a recession, just so you know. It's technical.
Yeah, you're in a depression.
Okay, sure. Let's go with that. I'm really feeling mighty low.
Yeah. Eric, Treasury Scott Bassett just dropped this line on Elizabeth Warren. 45% of our small and community banks disappear since the great financial crisis. Senator Warren likes to say, oh, we might have a bank failure. She killed 45% of the small banks. Yeah. Let's protect the big giant banks, but destroy almost all the small banks.
She was a hitman.
Yeah. India may have witnessed, this is from Bull Theory, India may have witnessed one of the biggest accounting frauds ever. SEBI alleged that Raji Export, one of India's most well-known gold companies and Fortune Global 500 firm, faked $158 billion in revenue, which is 99.8% of everything ever claimed to earn over the last 5 years.
What the hell's going on with India, man? First they try to cheat at chess, now they're trying to cheat at finance?
Exactly. Basically, all the looking the other way has gone away because people are starting to audit their shit.
Wow.
Culture Crave. Keith David has received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mr. Keith David. Not to be confused with David Keefe.
Congratulations, sir. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Money well spent getting it.
Yep.
I really love this guy.
Yeah, I met him.
Yeah, really? Congratulations. This guy's a great actor.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in the Tampa Film Festival that happened a couple of years back. It was in guest of honor introducing, and yeah, I met him.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Direxo. So this has been going on for a couple days now. The story's out, so some people may have heard it or may not have heard it, but basically, a YouTuber had a consignment which was given to him by his recently deceased father, which was a Lego set collection, consignment of Lego sets of $200,000 collection.
Wait, how much?
$200,000.
$200,000 Lego set collection?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
On consignment.
What does on consignment mean? What do you mean it was on consignment?
It means that they use a retailer to hold the collection, and as the retailer sold, consignment, sold that collection, they would be sending the money over to the YouTuber, while for every sale, consignment.
Okay. So the retailer sells it, he makes money, the kid makes money. Okay, got it.
Exactly. So it was $200,000, right? Collection.
Yeah.
What happened is that that consignment agreement was from the previous franchise owner, and in a certain turn of events, that retailer switched hands to a new franchise owner, who didn't say, we don't have any agreement with the consignment, and held to the $200,000 Lego bricks collections.
What?
Yeah.
That's stealing.
Exactly. So this whole saga, right, has been, hey, okay, I understand you don't want to do the consignment. Can you please give us our $200,000 Lego collection because we want it back? And they're saying, we have no evidence of that paperwork, and we're not going to give it back to you.
The fuck is say?
Yeah. So, as a savvy the YouTuber person is, they, go to sue for that. They, the owners of that current store says, hey, if you see this guy coming around, just call the police. There's court dramas. The guy gets arrested. The YouTuber gets arrested. Tells the judge he has to flee to New Mexico, so he doesn't get arrested, and he's making an appeal from New Mexico. He talked to the CEOs of the franchise for Bricks and Megafigs, saying, hey, can you just tell your franchisee to give me my $200,000 Lego collections and I can go elsewhere with it? The CEO didn't say so. Come to the end of the story. Briggs and Megafix is parting way with Brendan Bess and Joshua Johnson due to a devastating social media campaign. They said they have reached out to the family that owns the 200,000 Lego collection to return it and offer compensation for any missing items.
Holy shit.
AKA, they figure out that that they're going to lose more than $200,000 if this continues.
Holy smokes. So they were shamed to do the right thing.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it only worked because a guy had a YouTube channel and was pretty popular as well.
What a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. Bunch of assholes. All right. So that saga is ending. Let's see what happens next. Gunter Eagleman, you go woke, you go broke, then you crawl back. Victoria's Secret tried to push ugly, obese model men in lingerie in full corporate woke nonsense and to destroy their brand. Now they're bringing sexy back and the sales are up 15%. Stocks are surging 47%. Shocking no one. The American people wanted hot women in lingerie, not lecture. Just like Bud Light, the market spoke loud and clear.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm shocked, I tell you. Shocked.
Shocked. All right.
Bring back the fat chicks.
Oh, okay. I guess it's something they didn't like.
Yeah, you don't know how hard it was to, look away.
Don't look, Marianne. Keep your eyes closed.
Yes, yes.
All right, MJ Trufologist. John Solomon revealed fresh documents just discovered inside the FBI contains evidence pertaining to Barack Hussein Obama that's about to come public. I think there'll be need to summon Obama based on some of the evidence that are about to become public.
Like he wasn't really eligible to be president?
Yeah, but he can't be indicted most likely, but that means he cannot claim the fifth element either. Keep an eye on that. I told you burn bags were a perfectly delivery vehicle to find whatever they wanted and whenever they wanted. Everything is time for release. Drip, drip. Cool.
The burn bags.
Oh, so, funny, it happens just as Bolton agrees to plead guilty.
Yeah, Bolton's going, hey, Brock, I got this sweet deal. I think you should do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, this phone call's not recorded. Trust me.
Yeah. At least this way you'll flee to Kenya.
Yeah. Or Canada. Either way.
It's interesting. All right. Thank you to Blonde Goth Girl. Thank you to David Volts. George, what's your final thoughts?
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for more. Until then, bye.
I believe that together we can make America great again. I believe that together we can make America great